Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. So today's video is, well, basically I wanted to build this for the longest time and I've just never got around to it. So as you can probably tell from the title, this is like a teenage hangout kind of lot, and recently a lot of people have been saying how they want something this year, like a pack to come out or something to be related to teens a little bit more, because there isn't a whole lot for them to do. And I do agree, there's not a whole lot of things you can do which kind of make teenagers different to adults. I know that sounds weird, but like, okay, they can go to school instead of work, but they can basically do everything else that an adult does. And I don't know, a lot of people, including myself, would like to see like a teenager-based pack, or maybe just a child-based pack, just for something more for them to do. And I decided, with all of this going on, I would finally do this build which I wanted to do for the longest time, and it's just like a teenage hangout lot. So it's basically just a load of like games and just cool stuff, especially if you've got get-together. This is a great like place where it has basically all of the activities that we got in that pack, and yeah, I just compiled it into one and just made it this kind of little teen hangout. And I personally think it's really cool, but I would say that because obviously I built it, but as I said, I've wanted to do this for like the longest time, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. And I haven't actually played in it yet, but I will do, and I can't wait for when I can play in it. And yeah, it's just going to be great. But I do want to mention, I always forget to say this in my videos, but it stands to all of my builds, including this one, is on the gallery to download if you would like to download it. My origin ID and all of my social media is down below in the description box. So if you would like to download this, you can just go and find my origin ID and then find me on the gallery, and you can have this in your game. But yeah, so as you can see, I've done this like little, what's it called? Like, it's like a balcony of flowers. I don't know what the actual name of it is, but you can see what I'm doing. Just because I wanted it to look kind of modern, but kind of overgrown, and just, I'm not very good at describing the things. They're completely two different things, but hopefully you get what I mean. But I just basically thought it looked cool. And so I decided to do this, and I do actually put in a sign in a little bit which covers up the half wall clipping in to the half roof, just because it really annoyed me. So I do put a sign in between, and yeah. And as you can see on this side bit, I try to do these little like bulk out bits, kind of, if that makes any sense. But I didn't actually like it in the end. I wanted to originally do it, and when it came around to it, I just really wasn't feeling it. I just didn't like what it looked like, and I decided to delete that. And I think I actually, yeah, I do. I make it actually bigger so I can like kind of like expand that room out a little bit, just because I just wasn't feeling it. You can see now I'm trying to like put in some stones to try and like it. Just because I kind of want to do it, and I've seen a lot of people do this, and I've done it like before myself, but it just didn't fit in with this build, and so I did just decide to delete it and build in this little extra bulky off-room side thing, if that's what you called it. But anyway, a little bit of information about this lot. So it is I see it as kind of like a bar, like a really cool chill out. You know, like one of them bars, that like really cool bars in London, that there's like a junkyard golf club bar in London. I kind of went with that vibe when I was building this. So I set it as generic, but you can set it to bar. I believe I went in at the end and just added an extra table with a stereo on. I don't believe I recorded that bit, but just because with the bar you have to have like a certain amount of tables and a certain amount of chairs and all that kind of stuff, so I do add that in at the end. But yeah, so you can set it as a bar if you like to, or you can leave it as a generic lot. With generic lots though, I find that the bartenders don't really ever come. It's always just like a kind of dead lot, like no one ever wants to go there. So obviously if you want just to set it as a bar, you can do that. But yeah, So anyway, moving on, I'm kind of doing the windows, and I really wanted to use these Get Famous windows. I've only used them in one lot, I think, since they've come out, and I believe that was I think it was called Hillcrest Avenue, but I'm not completely sure. It was a modern build that I did for Newcrest. I really wanted to try and use them, but in the end I just opted with them little square base game windows, because I decided that was going to be like the bathroom, or the bathrooms, because there's 2 bathrooms in this lot. But yeah, and now I'm moving on to the landscaping, and I decided to keep a bit of the landscaping in. I wanted you to kind of see how I landscape, because I am one of the worst landscapers. I could not do it for the life of me. I really do struggle with landscaping. But I decided to keep some of it in, but not all of it, because it took me quite a long time to landscape it. And I also do obviously landscape the back, but I don't keep that bit in because it's literally the same as the front, and I thought it'd be a little bit repetitive. Wow, I cannot speak. Little bit repetitive, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like leaving that bit in. But you can still see me doing the landscaping here, and I just kind of pick a flower or a bush and I just place it oddly everywhere, and then go in with other flowers and kind of just fill it out. And you can see that I've just transitioned into kind of the end of the transformation. But yeah, and then I do just add some little trees here and there, and in a minute you're going to see me kind of add this little decking at the back. And originally I wasn't going to add anything to the back. I was just going to have it as like the building and not really do anything for the outside, as in terms of like activities. But that changed. But currently you can see that I did some terrain paint, and I know you might be thinking like, why did you do that? But it's fine. Don't make it as like bright and saturated as it looks. I do go in with some terrain paint and just kind of mute it down. But the terrain paint in this lot, I don't know if it was just like there's a certain glitch in the game at the minute or anything like that, but it was so dull and just looked completely dead. Like, it looked terrible. And so I decided just to use the terrain paint in just like a grass swatch, and just fill the whole entire lot with this grass swatch, and then kind of add in my own terrain paint, so it looked like that greeny grass was the actual original grass, if you know what I mean. But now you can see I'm going in with this decking, as I just mentioned. And like I said, I originally wasn't going to do this, but I felt like there was so much space out the back that I kind of needed to add something, and I did basically. I didn't want to keep it bare, and I didn't want to have loads and loads of plants and trees and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to add a little bit extra, just a little extra something, you know. And so I added this little decking, and it actually turned out to be one of my favourite parts of the build. And as you can see, I've added them toddler stuff pack or toddler fun pack or something like that. Them lights, I added them lights. I absolutely love them lights. Absolutely fit the bill for this build. But I really wish that we could get them in like different kind of sizes, so we could have one that are like 3 tiles long and 4 tiles long and 5 tiles long, because it was quite difficult to try and figure out. Like, I had to expand it and I had to play around with it a lot. I did cut it out, but in the end it looked like I've just done like the most simple thing, but it took a lot of taking to actually get it to look like that, believe it or not. But yeah, that is my favourite part of the build. I do actually add a hot tub out there, just if it's like a really hot day, if you do have seasons. I'm not sure if they actually cool down in the hot tub. That is actually a very good question, because I haven't had a hot tub, like I haven't played with the hot tub in my game since I've had Seasons, which, wow, Seasons has been out. When did Seasons come out? Like June, maybe? I'm not even sure. It was like the end of my kind of educational year last year, because I remember when, I don't know why I'm talking about this is completely irrelevant, but Seasons has been out for a while, and I'm not sure if they can cool down in the hot tub, but I'm like certain they probably can, because I'm pretty sure they can cool down with the swimming pool. Yeah, I think so anyway. I don't actually know. Maybe I should really do my research on that, so I just know. But anyway, moving on, I'm doing these, I don't know what these are called, like ivy kind of things. I absolutely love these, and do you know what? I watched Sim Guru, Sim Lissy. I can't say her name. I'm really, really bad at saying names, and I'm really, really sorry. But she is an amazing builder, one of my favourite people to watch, and she absolutely smashes it every single time she uses these. And I'm so jealous because I can't use them to save my life, but I try. I'm working on it. I'm getting there, maybe, hopefully, maybe one day. But yeah, she's a really amazing builder. I'll link her channel in the description box below so you can go and have a look at how much better she is at doing them than me. But anyway, moving on, I'm now doing the floor plan, and the floor plan is just pretty basic. I use the bowling alley floor paneling kind of wallpaper throughout the whole entire build, apart from in the 2 bathrooms. So there is 2 bathrooms on this lot. They're not 2 bathrooms with like 3 toilets in them. They're literally just 2 bathrooms. I wanted to add like 3 or 2 toilets in, but the way that I did the floor plan, it was kind of difficult, and it would work, but it just looked weird, and I just didn't like it. So there's only 2 toilets in this lot, but hopefully that wouldn't be a massive problem. They're not like male and female or anything. They're completely gender neutral. So if one person's in the toilet, then you can go in the other toilet. I don't know. As I always say person, whenever I do speed builds, I always refer to Sims as person or human, and I never mean to, but I always do by accident, so apologise for that. But anyway, in this kind of section of the build is kind of like the outgoing kind of nightclubby kind of area. So here I add a bar, I add a DJ booth, and I'm adding this little table, which is actually really, really cool to play with, that little green table. You can play like cards and stuff on it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I just add loads of kind of activities that I just think, especially with get together, because there is a lot of get together stuff in this pack. It's such a cool pack if you've got clubs, like if you've got like a really popular club, and you've got like just all the different clubs that like would come here, and there's something for everyone to do no matter what club you're in, and I just think it's so cool. But yeah, and I add that little bubble blower, and I was having some difficulties figuring out what chairs I wanted, and I added the chairs that I added were from Laundry Day, but I wasn't sure if they was able to fit on them and like sit on them and use them properly, so I did just use one of the like pre-made kind of sets for the bubble blower, and I used the pink chairs, and I'm pretty sure I do change the colour to the black chairs with the brown wood. I'm pretty sure, but I might be completely wrong. But anyway, and yeah, so I had that little foosball table as well. I absolutely love that. I've only ever played with that like 2 or 3 times, and that's with the I can't think what they're called, the household that live in the old factory, because they have one in their lot, and when I played with them in the past, I used to use that quite a lot. But yeah, so this room is basically just all of the cool kind of stuff, like I don't know how to describe it, but like the other room, it might sound simple right explaining like this, but like the other room is more for like the calmer kind of teenagers that just want to, like sit down and read a book, or want to paint, or want to watch a film, or all that kind of stuff. And this room is kind of just like the DJ booth and all that kind of stuff, so it does kind of separate up a little bit, but there is something for every type of sim, really. I literally was at the activities part in the like build and buy menu, and I was putting every single activity that I could find that was relevant in this build, just because I wanted to absolutely fill it. So there's so much for your sim to do, and I think it's also a really cool like skill building place as well, because there is painting, there's the darts. I don't know if the darts is actually a skill. I don't think the darts is a skill. I don't know why I just said that, but there's a lot of stuff. There's like the dancing and stuff, and it's a really cool build. But I didn't actually add a computer in this build, and I did actually want to, but there wasn't enough room to make it fit and not make it look weird. So there was tons of room, but I didn't want to make it look like I added it just because, right, I need to have a computer in here as well. So hopefully you don't mind. I mean, a computer isn't really like a social activity, So I don't think it was a massive problem. I mean, I would have liked to add one if I had the room, but I didn't have the room, so I didn't feel like it was a massive problem. But as you can see, I added them little flags on the wall, and I put the paragons, the drama one, and then I think I put the weightlifting one. I'm not completely sure. I can't see it right now, but oh no, I didn't. I put the like charisma sign. Okay, so I put them kind of symbol flags in this room. And the other room is kind of one towards the book club and like the art club and all that kind of stuff. I just felt like there's something for everyone, and I didn't do that so like to say like, oh, if you like painting you could go in that room or anything like that. I just felt like the book club sims would more likely go into the back room, and obviously everyone can come together and have a good time together, and yeah, I like it. But anyway, now I'm going on and doing this little hallway bit, and I didn't really want to leave it bare. I just wanted to clutter it up just a little bit. So I put this sign, which I imagine said all like the drink menus on it, and maybe there's some like after school specials or whatever. I don't know if I'm actually not sure if your teenage Sims can get, oh, what's the word? There's a Sims word for getting drunk. I can't think what it's called, but I know that if you've got the what mod? I've got a mod. I can't think of what I'm trying to say, but I've got a mod, and your Sims can basically get drunk if they if they drink like a lot of like alcohol and all that kind of stuff, or alcohol in the game. I'm not sure if teenagers can get it as well, but I imagine it says like cocktails or mocktails or whatever on there, like for after school or whatever. But yeah, anyway, moving on, I'm just doing the bathroom, and I do add a shower in this. I don't really know why, but I thought it would be great to have a shower, because sometimes my Sims go out and they're a little bit smelly, and so it's always a great place. It's always a good thing to have a shower, really. Just, I don't know, if before they go in the hot tub maybe, or something like that. But there was space for a shower, and I just thought I'd just add one anyway. But moving on, we're now moving on into the back room, and as you can see, I put the little llama table in, and I also add the City Living bookcase and just clutter it up with some bits and bobs. And yeah, I'm thinking, do I add? Oh no, I add it in a minute. Okay, so I add like the little painting bit, just right around the side of that. There's 2 painting easels, I think is how you say it. I was in my last build, I was talking about an easel, but I wasn't sure how you say it properly, because I always feel like I say it wrong, so I went around the subject of trying to say it. But I had the painting stuff just here, just in case your Sims want to paint, whatever. There's loads of activities to do. It's basically like a after school kind of club, where everyone can come and everyone can do their own thing, or if they want to do homework, they can do homework, or if they want to paint, they can paint. If they want to do whatever, they can do whatever. But I did want to add a painting bit, because a lot of my Sims do like painting, and a lot of people like painting anyway, so maybe there's an art club or something like that. But I did definitely want to add this in, and I'd add some like little vases or vase, I say both, I'm not sure which one it is, just around, just in case they wanted to paint that or whatever. But anyway, now I'm moving on, and I was trying to figure out what to do with this last little bit, but then I decided to put the TV area here. I also put the games console as well, just in case you want to play games or whatever. I never really play with a games console, just because I personally play with like a single Sim a lot of the time, and I play with the games console singly, but I never really play with them like multiplayer, because you can play with up to 4 Sims, I believe. I never personally do that, but with this club you can do that if you would like to, or this build club thing that I'm building. But anyway, over there I added a little popcorn area and like a coffee machine and some ice cream. Maybe they want to grab a drink. Wow, I'm really sorry, I can't actually speak very well today. I say this in all my builds, it sounds like I can't speak very well in general, but yeah, and then I just go in and add some little rugs here and there, just because I felt like the wooden floor needed to be broken up a little bit, and yeah, and then I just kind of go around and then just clutter the rest of the lot up. I'm not sure if I add anything else which is kind of like monumental, if that makes any sense, but as you can see, I added the little flags for the book club, and yeah. But now moving on to the outside, so this is where the hot tub is, and I just put a cooler in here as well, just in case I want to grab a drink or whatever, but yeah, basically. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the speed build. As I said, it is on the gallery if you would like to download it, but yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching me build this teenage hangout. I hope you like it and you want to download it and play with it. I know that I can't wait to play with it, but as always, if you do like my content, then please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next speed building video. Bye guys.